Yo, what's up, YouTube? This is Talking Crazy 88, back again with another podcast for you. Hey, I'm up again at 5:37 in the morning again, gang, with my espresso. Hold on. This shit is good, man. Cooking your own coffee. I just saved about another $2 from Starbucks. Well, $3. Although I enjoy my visits to Starbucks, but the money's looking a little bit tight, man, nowadays since I'm in the real estate. So I got to put in that work, gang. Anyway, I wanted to switch gears and go back, revisit my series of Are You a Man or Are You a Male? Where I talk about the state of manhood in black society. All right? Especially in black America, because it just seems like to me that there is an attack on heterosexual black males in this country. You know, we seem to want to revere the faggots and the carpet munchers more than the straight heterosexual men. You know, what I mean by heterosexual men is that men that like women that have pussies, okay? Titties, ass, and pussies. You know, kind of like a guy like me. Not no trannies, not no gay babies, no, a real woman. And I'm gonna get on that in my next podcast. But I want to also talk about some of the pictures that I've saw over the past couple of days on Instagram. Like a couple of days ago, a friend of mine posted up a picture where a dude was walking around with a sign that says, "I'm a hoe too." And a friend of mine who happens to be a stand-up comic, I'm not going to go tell you who she is, made a comment about that whole situation. If this is what happens when the pussy's that good, or something to that effect. It had me rolling. So I did a little bit digging, because it was interesting to me to see that this young brother was with this woman holding up a sign that says, "I'm a hoe too." And it turns out that this was the weekend of that Saturday was the weekend of the Amber Rose annual Slut Walk Festival. Now, I did a little research, which really wasn't that much. I just went on the webpage and looked up what this whole bullshit, slut walk bullshit, was all about. And it wasn't about anything important. All right? It was about women who want to advertise that they're available, but guys shouldn't actually approach them in a disrespectful manner. All right? They shouldn't be touched. They shouldn't be raped. And it all stemmed from, and if I get the story correct, on the website, they told the story about how this ridiculous waste of time slut walk, so-called slut walk, originated. It was originated because of some dumbass cop up in Canada made a comment towards a crowd of college women that if they wanted to avoid sexual assault, because apparently there was probably a rally against sexual assault on campus, and this dumbass cop went on stage and said something stupid like, "If you want to avoid sexual assault, stop dressing like a slut." All right. Now, fellas, I agree that there are women out there that dress a lot, that advertise that they're available, that they're down with it, that they know what time it is. But no way, in any shape or form, do I advocate putting your hands on them. Okay? I don't advocate males, putting their hands on women and forcing them to do things that they're not supposed to, that they don't want to do. Just because they dress like a slut doesn't mean that they are sluts. All right? There could be there are various reasons why dumbass women like to dress up and go out in public with their titties and ass hanging out. For men like myself are not supposed to be looking at them. They're supposed to just ignore what the fuck was going on out in public. Well, that doesn't mean you can't look. Or freedom of speech. Now they like to talk about the freedom of speech. You can say something to these hoes. You can call them a hoe if you want to. I don't advocate that, but yes, you're right as a man, which I have no problem with. If you're dressing like a $2 hooker, if you're walking down the street on Fordham Road dressing like a $2 hooker. Now, Fordham Road, man, I love going down on Fordham Road during the summertime when I can see all these hot Dominican women, Puerto Rican women dressing up, all these young girls dressing up, dress during the summertime with all this shit hanging out, man. I'm like a Popeye's chicken, man. All I see is breasts, titties, thighs, and legs, man. Shit. But anyway, enough on that. I just want to talk about why I'm doing this podcast for the men out there. Well, the young men. I just want to apologize to the young men out there on behalf of the absentee fathers for not doing more podcasts like this towards the young men. I want to apologize for being off the air on hiatus because you young men need these podcasts because these dumbass women are running around, particularly dumbass black women. They're just running around doing stupid shit, and I got to put a stop to this shit. Now, it doesn't matter if they're black or white or Hindu or Asian or whatever. The women, particularly dumbass women in this country, are 99% of them are dumbasses. And you can't be following around. You can't have your nose wide open for every bitch that shows off her titties and ass to you. Can't do that. See, at my age, I'm just looking for a pretty young woman, pretty much to start a family with. If not a family, just grow old. Just watch me sit on the couch with my long white beard, with my 12-gauge shotgun on my 12-acre ranch, with a sign that says, "Trespassers will be shot on sight." Okay, that, at my age, that's what I'm looking forward to. All right? I'm not looking forward to bedding down dozens of women or whatever. I ain't with that anymore. I'm looking for quality now, not quantity. But there's nothing wrong with it because I had my share of pussy in my day, so it's okay. But you young men out there, this is a different type of generation that has no sort of leadership because y'all was raised primarily in a single mother household with no man around, and all you have is your mama's logic to deal with. Your mama's logic and her bullshit that you have to deal with on how you should treat a woman. Now, apparently, in this picture, this is a rap. This is a rapper by the name of 21 Savage, right? I don't know who that nigga is. Don't ask me. I'm not. See, at my age, I'm not even supposed to know who these people are. I don't know who Cardi B is. I don't know. I don't know who these rappers are. Nor do I care. It's generation from generation. I'm not supposed to know who the new rappers are. I know who the old ones are, but I don't know who the new ones are. I don't know anything about that. So apparently, he's dating Amber Rose. Now, Amber Rose is a woman who denies being black, but she's making her money off of black men, and she's dating black men. But she's not a black man. She's not a black woman. Her people originated from Cape Verde, which is an island full of niggers off the coast of Africa. But because of the history of Cape Verde, the island itself was uninhabited for up until the 1600s, when it became a major trading post for slaves during the slave trade. For instance, they would drop off the Europeans would drop off particularly the Portuguese. They would drop off the black folks from Senegal, Nigeria, Angola. They would drop them off there. They would rape the women and rape the men and have these mixed babies on the island, and they would have the mixed babies, and they would just settle there. And ship off the rest to the Americas, to the Caribbean islands or the Americas. So for a number of years, if you ever go there, you're going to see a whole lot of mixed looking people on that island. But they're nothing but black people. But they're black. They're niggers. When they come to this country or go outside of their outside of their country, there's nothing but niggers. They're particularly black folks. And pretty much it's an island. Well, it's a chain of islands. It's an archipelago, which is a chain of islands off the coast of Africa. But it's in a country within itself. And I was thinking about just going out there for a visit years ago. I just never got a chance to. But since I'm getting up in age, I got to get out there and see what's going on, see what's popping out there. And fellow players out there, they got some beautiful women out there. I saw some pictures, man. They got some pretty women out there. And not because they're mixed or anything, but because they got titties and ass. And has a pretty face. So players out there, you take your happy ass on up there. But because this nigga here is so enthralled of a woman that's 10 years older than her. 10 years older than him. He's a young guy. He looks relatively young, but in these pictures, he doesn't look like he's happy to be there. He should have just jumped on a plane and had an event that same day. He should have had something to do, or watch some college football, or drink some beers, or hang out with the buddies, or playing basketball, or whatever. You should have been doing something other productive than hanging out with a bunch of tired women who just want to show off their goodies because they can, and talk about and do some male bashing. Talk shit about men, heterosexual men who like women. Never understood that. Who loves women, excuse me. Running around holding up a sign saying I'm a hoe too. And she held up a sign that dressed up as a superhero saying I'm Captain Save a Hoe or something like that. And all that bullshit. But see, I gotta apologize to the young men out there because this is not about being a man. Doing what this brother did, being supportive of her by joining the event, it's not a bad thing, but I wouldn't have done it. I would have had something to do. I'm not supporting this bullshit because what it is bullshit. It's a bullshit event. It's a waste of time. It's a gathering for women to gain attention. And fellas, we got to put a stop to this bullshit. Sometimes you just got to be a man. Let me go back to how this brother looks. Man, this brother doesn't look like he's happy to be there. He just wanted to get. He looked like he's being captured. He was so enthralled with the pussy that he had to just debate. He had to push aside what little manhood he had and swallow the fact that he has to support this woman. This woman made him come out there. Jesus Christ, guys. You guys got to stop behaving like pussies now and stand up to these women. I know she's all exotic well, to him, she's exotic looking woman. To me, she's just an ordinary woman. She's just a light-skinned woman with titties and ass. Now, I used to joke with my brother Rich, that if you meet a woman with a big ass, you just go ahead and marry her. I used to joke about that because you don't see too many light-skinned women with big asses, much less big asses and big titties, like Amber Rose, who's also a talentless hack. I mean, she doesn't do anything. What does she does except date and marry rappers? That's her thing. But I'm more interested in what the state of manhood is going to be like in the next 20 years if we have brothers like this running around at events holding up a sign saying, I'm a hoe too. I wouldn't have done that shit. But listen, let me go ahead and get the fuck up out of here, people. Because I got some things to do. I got to get ready for my run. But young black men out there, you guys got to hold your nuts, man. You got to hold your nuts, man. You ain't gotta be mean. You don't have to be mean and nasty or anything like that. You just gotta hold your nuts, man. You gotta stand up to these broads, man, because when they start talking all this stupid shit to you, and he's not young, he's not old enough to know the game. He just saw titties and ass, spit some game to her. She liked it, and bam, got some good pussy. And I can imagine that pussy is good. I mean, but it ain't worth debasing yourself as a man, dude. The pussy is not that good. Just check out my last. I think I have a 6-part podcast series about the bitch messed me up series. I think my life was messed up by a black American hoe, a woman. Check out that 6-part series about how I lost all my dignity for some dumbass black woman. All right? Fellas, don't lose your dignity over no pussy. It's not worth it. Well, listen, gang, I gotta go. I'll be back with another podcast later on. This is Talking Crazy 88. And I am out of here. And fellas, black folks, let's look out for one another. Let's be careful out there and let's start looking out for one another.